Hey guys, it's me Tori, and today's video is about why I quit cosmetology school. So back in 2009, I was married to my first husband. I was a mother of 3 children. I was a stay-at-home mom. We lived in a really crappy section of Baltimore City, and my goal was to be able to get out of Baltimore City as soon as possible. And the only way for that to happen was for me to go to school, get an education in a trade of some sort, and then turn around and get a job that would allow me to move wherever I really wanted to go, pretty much. Obviously every state has different standards for becoming a cosmetologist. You have to pass state board, you have to have so many hours of training. You know, back then I think I had to have 1,600 hours of training in the state of Maryland. I was attending Medic School West in Security Square Mall. I'm not sure what city that really would be considered because I didn't hang out there. But you know, I was in cosmetology school. I was a stay-at-home mom of 3 kids. My ex, he worked a full-time job, but his hours were set pretty much a year in advance, or that year at the beginning of the year, and he was only required to work so many hours a week, so many shifts a week, and I pretty much knew what all those were. So we were able to schedule a friend of ours to babysit when my ex wasn't available to watch the kids. So the reason I quit cosmetology school is not because I couldn't do it or I couldn't hack it. Now I will tell you, I cannot cut in a straight line. I started school in May, June of 2009. My child was like 3 months old at the time. She was born in March, April, May. I started like in May. And my ex and I were in a very toxic relationship with each other. We had been married for 5 years, almost 5 years at that point. And we had separated several times. We did not have a good relationship at all. I will not bash, belittle, or degrade my ex-husband. It just was not a very good situation for myself or the kids to be in, or my ex to be in. We were both unhappy with the situation. We were both struggling with a lot of things. That being said, I decided I wanted a divorce in June, the end of May, beginning of June, I think it was, of that year. I sat down and told my ex I wanted a divorce, and I had hoped he would respond in a calmer manner than what he did, and you know, he blew up on me, and I was still trying to go to school, and he basically told me when I asked for a divorce, I asked to separate so we could both move on with our lives and be happy without each other, you know, dragging each other down, that we could co-parent our children. And it just backfired in my face. He said he wouldn't help me pay for school, that I couldn't live where I was living, which was closest to the school, or closer to the school than where my parents lived at. And he basically wouldn't allow me to, he wouldn't help me get to where I wanted to be in order to support my children in a way that was beneficial to not only my children, but to him as well. So I told him in like I think it was June, that I wanted a divorce, and finally, in the beginning of July, I had to move out because it was just a really, really stressful situation for the kids, for myself, for my ex. We just couldn't, like, I could not live there with him and go to school, and it just was really bad. So I moved out, and when I moved out, I moved back home with my parents, with my 3 kids. And at the time, my dad was so against everything that I was doing that even though I was trying to better myself and trying to get an education and finish something, he didn't want to help me. He refused to let my mom babysit my kids so I could go to school, because it was weeknights and all day Saturday for 8 hours. So I wasn't allowed to go to school. My dad was just like, I'm not helping you pay your tuition, and I'm not letting your mom babysit your kids. So I was faced with, what do I do now? And as much as it hurt me to quit, because I really enjoyed the classmates that I had and my instructors, and while I won't say the school was the greatest, or in the greatest area, but I liked it there. I was getting straight A's, I was learning new things and doing my absolute best. So it hurt to quit. I didn't know what else to do. So in probably early July, shortly after I left, I went in and said I'm withdrawing from school. And I don't know if I'm coming back. And that was probably one of the hardest things I've done, honestly, was to give it up. My goal with cosmetology was to learn every aspect of hair, makeup, nails that I could learn. I wanted to be a colorist. I did not want to cut hair because I cannot cut in a straight line. I still can't French braid. Never learned that. Didn't get that far. I learned how to finger wave, create, to do a roller set, and which is my #1 video on this channel, is how to do a roller set, which only has one part because I didn't finish it because life got in the way then. So yeah, like I really wanted to be a colorist, but I went to school because I had 2 daughters. I had 2 little girls, and I wanted to be able to do their hair as they grew up. I wanted to be able to braid their hair, color, cut, you know, the whole 9 yards. Like I wanted to be able to do it all. I wanted to teach them what I knew and give others, like you guys, which is why I started my YouTube channel, the knowledge that I was learning, that you may not have the money for the education or the time for the education, but you still wanted to learn something. That's really why I started this YouTube channel back in 2009. That was my biggest thing. I wanted to be able to impart the knowledge that I was learning as I was learning it to others. Because YouTube is all about learning new things. There's so many people on here that teach you how to do new things, like photography or video editing, or teaches you how to grow an audience on YouTube, or, you know, there's so many people that teach you different things. You can learn how to play the guitar, the piano, you know, any instrument on here. You can learn how to knit, sew, crochet. You can learn how to braid hair. Like, they teach so many things, and I wanted to be able to put my spin and my knowledge into something. My spin on something and my knowledge into it. But I ended up quitting, and that's been almost 10 years. 2009 or 2017. We're talking like 8, almost 9 years right now. And would I like to go back? Yes and no. I still would love to be a colorist, but at the same time, I don't have the time to dedicate to getting a full education right now. 8 hours a day. I still have young kids and they get sick, they get in trouble, they have after school activities, they have summer camps. Like, they're always on the go. So I would love to go back and I would love to learn more. And I'd love to be able to impart that knowledge onto you guys. But one of the bigger reasons why I also started cosmetology school was because I wanted to learn makeup. And when I got there, they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna learn makeup. Do you know how much makeup I learned? This much. Do you know how much makeup I knew before I started? This much. Do you know how much makeup I know now? How to do makeup now? This much. Well, I don't wear makeup every day, or hardly ever, because I've been focused on other things in my life. I think I would do better in, you know, going to school for makeup artistry, which I actually went to a continuing education course in 2014, 2015? Something like that. The end of 2015, I think it was, December. October, November, December, I don't even know. All I know is I went to a 2-part continuing education course of beginners and advanced, and have a certificate in both those for continuing education. But yeah, that's why I quit cosmetology school, because of the situation that I was in, and I had to figure out a way to get out of it. The situation I was in, not school. I would have loved to continue. I would have loved to have gone back sooner than now. But all in all my decisions led me to where I am. And now I want to finish what I started with this channel back in 2009. I want to impart knowledge on others that are seeking to better themselves. So thanks for watching, and check back soon for a new video. Bye.